I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Hiroki. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. Here to make war, we surrender. All good. Important things are needed new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a seaport planet. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. That means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these three words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Birdo Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to Bed Life for Monday, February 28th, 2022. It's definitely a Monday, and I do have physical therapy after the stream today, so at some point I will likely be cutting us off, and it might be without much warning, so just be aware. Qapla Jedi Bill, Qapla Words and Pictures, and Wesley and Bradley Briggs and not Ryan Johnson, and 47 Yorktown. Let me go to the beginning of the chat. Wesley Crusher was first, and he says, "Dear Bops, greetings, birds, turds, birds, salty turds, and nerds," and he puts in all the custom emojis. Thank you, Wesley. John Araki says, "Deuce," because he's the number 2. And he says, "What happens after death? Half the chat gets lost to buffering, the stream has to be restarted." Wesley says, or another stream starts and we all watch that. John Araki says, "Life is like subscriber only mode. Death has chat disabled." Wesley needs to get Bird's autograph in the mail today. That makes it sound like you have my autograph and you're sending it. In fact, you have an autograph to send me. I can make my autograph anytime I want. Wesley says, 5 minutes, people, lights, camera, Jaloja. I was actually maybe 6 minutes. Not Ryan Johnson says, "Hello in Qapla. Hail Karoga." Hello in Qapla. Not Ryan Johnson. Wesley asks, "Mr. Not Ryan, how are you?" And he says, "Where is Bird? Has anyone seen Bird? Can't start the show without him." 54.5 Access Radio has hashtag Stovacore. Wesley says, "Someone get Sassy out of the cameras." Not Ryan Johnson says, "Wesley doing pretty well. How are you?" Bradley Briggs says, "Yup, y'all. Yup, zup." Wesley says he's okay. I think he's ready to roll the opener. Yes. And action, we are live, people. 47 Yorktown says, "Hello, young sir." Hello, 47. Words and Pictures says, "Qapla Vertebrae, good to see you. And good to be here. Good to see you." Wesley says, "I'm late." Jedi Bill says, "Qapla, brother warrior." Hail, Karoga. Qapla, Jedi Bill. Mike Richards says, "Greetings from Columbus, Ohio." Greetings, Mike Richards. Words and Pictures says hello to Jedi Bill. Captain Track says hello, Captain. Captain, I didn't type because I really couldn't, but I was at a good part of your stream this morning. I was at Rambling Stream 2, although I said hello and then I was away from the keyboard, I was listening to the vast majority of the stream. Captain says, hey to Wes. The Random Menace is greetings from the borders to madness. People keep telling me to stay safe, but I'm not a hollow metal cube. They're not saying you to become a safe. But maybe that's what you are. If that's what you feel you are, you want to transition to being a safe, that's I will support you. I don't know if Erica would be happy with it, but I will support her too, if need be, in different ways. If you wanted me to, I'm just saying, if you wanted me to. That's between you and her. Anyway, so I figured, well, it's Monday. Why not talk about one of the most depressing things, or depending on how you think about it, fantastic things. We're going to talk about the afterlife. You might say, what afterlife? Well, Qapla believes in it, so do I. We have the book of Qapla tells us of some fantastic events that, I don't mean fantastic, yay, but fantastic and hard to explain. And yet they happened. So as a witness to these events, or a first-hand account thereof, I say there is no explaining what we have seen without some type of afterlife. So yes, Qapla believes in one. Now, if you say, well, I don't believe in God, or I don't believe in Christianity, or I don't believe in the Buddha, or I don't believe in any whatever, that's fine. I'm not saying you should believe in any one particular thing, but because I'll be honest, none of them particularly explain the range of things I've seen to my liking. But nevertheless, these things have happened, and there is no explaining it away without some sort of life after death. And I remember back to the wording in my college fraternity that they used during the induction ceremony. Put it through that death is the doorway through which all mortal men must pass, and women, of course. Basically, anything alive will die. And I don't think I understood it until that time, when, in that ceremony, when it was said in just that way. And it has since resonated with me. No matter what we do, and no matter how far our technology takes us, one day we will all die. And that's what makes us alike more than anything else. Now, when we go, will you fear it, Will you welcome it? Or will you not see it coming? Those are your three choices. There will be people who will be afraid of dying. There will be people who welcome death. And there will be those who didn't see it coming. I don't know which one you want to be. I would imagine nobody wants to be the one afraid of it, but maybe you do. I would tend to either be the one who would either welcome it or probably prefer to be the one who didn't see it coming. Fast, painless, quick. But whatever it turns out to be, we all end up on the other side eventually. I'm happy to say that during my long illness, when I was in a coma with a high fever, when terrible things were ravaging my body, and it did not look like I was going to live, the only thing I recall from those periods was contentment. I had the impression that I was alive in a paradise. Now, it wasn't my particular paradise. Like, if you asked me, like, where do I find the best place? I would have said Sedona, Arizona, or even upstate New York in the summertime, where the Adirondacks, where the Caroga property is. Those are the places I most associate with paradise. But Hawaii was certainly nice too. And I did get to spend a month in Hawaii with my job, and it was a nice place. I don't know that it was my, my perfect spot, but certainly I know people in my family who appreciate the beach and the sand and the island lifestyle. They may well enjoy it more than I did, but I enjoy being with those people. So it would certainly have been a compromise I would have been willing to make to go to Hawaii if it meant keeping other people happy. I didn't hate Hawaii by any means. It just wouldn't have been my first place to choose. But given the fact that other people were involved in the decision making, I was perfectly content to be there because those people were with me. And they told me I didn't have to worry about anything anymore. Didn't have to worry about money anymore. Didn't have to worry about the requirements of owning a house daily. If you own a house, you've got to keep things up. You got to always worry about, do you have termites? Do you have to get the brickwork done? Do you have to worry about the stairs falling apart? Do you have to worry about cleaning the house? I was told, no, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff anymore. You don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about your house. It's all going to be done. And I was just happy. And I was with family, and I was just happy. And that was it. And I could hear people talking to me, and every little time I kind of woke up and then went back, I just thought, wow, these people are doing so much for me. Isn't that so nice? That I don't know if it was the afterlife or not, or if I was just dreaming, but whatever it was, it certainly was nothing that scared me. Captain Track says, did you see Mexican Iron Man? on. I think I heard him, but I didn't see him. And I guess, yes, I did hear him. No, I don't. Actually, Captain, I'll be honest. I don't remember if it was today that I saw him or last time that he was on. So if he said anything or whatever, I actually don't remember. Josh Reed says, Jedi Bill, why do you keep having karaoke night several hours after Birdo Prey turns in for the night? No matter what time he does karaoke, I will probably have been asleep because he's out in the Pacific or Arizona time zone. There's no getting over that. Uncle Remus says there is a Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yes, well, that's a movie. Random Menace says short circuits of the brain explained. There you go. Well, Random Menace does it. It doesn't really explain it. And Jedi Bill says fantastic t-shirt. Yes, Jedi Bill, the Coca-Cola t-shirt that you wore, and then I ended up ordering for myself. So yes, this t-shirt is basically from Jedi Bill. So Random Menace, Dad O'Prey passed away in 2011. I had been in the same hospital with him. I got out, a couple weeks before. 3 days. Oh, 3 days. 3 days before. Do you want to tell this? Or? Okay. Okay, so 3 days. I got home 3 days before Dad O'Prey passed. But before I left, we did have a dinner together in the hospital. He had still all had his mental faculties. He was okay, and I honestly thought he was going to come home. But and it was Mom O'Prey's birthday coming up. This was mid-December of 2011. So Mom O'Prey went to the hospital to see Dad O'Prey. And Dad O'Prey told her, and he was still lucid at this point. Dad O'Prey told her that it was his time. And she's like, no, it's not your time. What are you talking about? And he said, no, it is his time. And he says, the children are calling me. And she says, what children? What are you talking about? And he says, in the corner of the ceiling. And he pointed to it. He says, there's children there. They're calling me. She said, what children? Who are they? He said he didn't know who they were, but they were telling him it was his time. And he asked her, are you going to be okay to do this alone, meaning take care of me? And she said no. No, she's not going to be able to do it alone. He said he was sorry, but like they're calling me. He's got to go. And she didn't think he was going to die. He seemed like he was getting better, but I don't know. The next day or so, they placed him in palliative care, which I now know is basically a hospice type. They tried to tell me, oh no, he'll get better care. No, it's not. Palliative care is basically just hospice care in a hospital. I remember yelling at the doctors. And he's like, I just left your father. He's doing good. He's doing better. Like, what are you talking about? The nurses say, anyway, doesn't matter. Within 3 days, he passed. And, he knew ahead of time it was going to happen. He wasn't afraid. He was sad in that he had to leave my mom and me and Sisopre. But it happened. And this isn't a new story. I remember Mama Pray telling me this story right after he passed. And many times since. When Dad Opray's father, my grandfather, he was also in the hospital, and he also knew when he was going to pass, and he passed. It was May 14th, 1994. It was the night of a new X-Files. And I remember I didn't go to the hospital that night because I wanted to watch X-Files. Now, granted, I'd been going to the hospital many times over the course of months. But that night I figured I would take off and watch X-Files. Of course, in the middle of the night that night, we got the call that he had passed. But what I hadn't known until after was that he told them that night to take his wallet home. That he knew he wasn't going to need it. And he was like, well, okay. But the man had his wallet with him for, I don't know, 3 months. From February to May. He was moved hospitals. The entire time he had his wallet. He picked this day in May to tell him to take home his wallet. And then that was the night that he passed. And he also spoke up. I don't think it was children. I remember him telling me some things that I just chalked it up at the time to him being sick, but he wasn't. His brain was okay. Not that he was sick. His problems was not with his brain. It just anyway. So he knew. Then to get into I don't want to say the darker arts, but the more weird. Mama Pray went to Mama Pray lost a lot of family members over the years. As you guys know, our mother died when she was very young. Our father died when she was young. She lost a brother. She lost, and after, unfortunately, the only family member I remember her losing was her sister, my aunt. When I was she was also my godmother in junior high school. Yeah, because 94 was Papa, so it was right, and 94 was yeah. So yeah. Anyway, Mama Prey went to a medium, and this was before Facebook. This was before Google. This was before looking up things like that was easy. So with very little time, and it was a group session. It was a group thing. It's not that he knew. It was not like it was a private session where he knew who was coming and whatnot. He looks at my mom, and I'm paraphrasing this a little here, but he says that he didn't understand. He knew Mama Prey's mother had died because he said, your mother is your guardian angel. And but he also sees her sister. Well, he sees another woman, a younger woman, that he takes to be her sister, but he doesn't understand because the younger woman is saying, say hi to Mom for me. So he didn't know how to interpret that, but he passed the message along to Mama Prey nevertheless. And to Mama Prey, it made perfect sense because the sister was actually a half-sister. And her mom, Mama Prey's stepmother, the bitch, was still alive. No, to Mama Prey's half-sister, she was a loving mother, at least the best she could do of it. So it made sense why she would be saying, say hi to Mom. It wasn't the same mother. How does one reconcile that happening in the 1990s, before any type of computerized lookup, social media? There was no, okay, the only thing online was maybe Q-Link or AOL chat rooms. There was no World Wide Web access yet. So I don't know. I know it happened. And these things shaped me. I tell you, some of the well, what's the word? Realizations, perhaps, were disturbing, very, very disturbing. Like, Jesus, did these people see me when I was naked? When I was going to the bathroom? When I was showering? It was disturbing. But after a while of holding it, you realize, well, they were once my age. They surely have seen worse. And if they didn't, well, then they wouldn't stick around and watch me. So whatever. But these things happen. No church, no priest, no reverend, no rabbi, no imam, no Buddhist, and nobody on the psychic hotline has ever been able Not that I never called the psychic hotline, but I'm sure they have no way of explaining it. And quite frankly, not saying I do. All I'm saying is, to me, it's proof there's more out there than we can see. There's more out there than we can explain. And I know some of you have lost people recently, and others have people they love in the hospital. And as we get older, we're going to lose more people. It just comes with the territory of aging. I just want you to contemplate that it's not necessarily goodbye forever. It's just goodbye for now. That's not an excuse to act like you should, act like your actions don't matter. It's not an excuse to not call your family and wish them happy birthdays, or just call your family and talk to them every so often. Remind them you love them. I'm not saying to not do those things, because you should do those things. I'm just saying that when they die, just think, in Karoga anyway, I think you'll see them again. Unless you don't want to see them again, then I suspect there's a way you don't have to. But if you do want to see them again, I think you probably will. Words and pictures is death is hereditary. Your parents pass it on genetically. There is something to be said for how death is programmed into our genes. How as part of our genetics, we are programmed to die after a certain amount of time. It's good for our species that we die. And you say, well, how is that good for our species? Wouldn't it be better to live forever? And maybe it's better for you, but it's not better for them. And it's not better for the whales. It's better for the species as a whole that we live, we grow, we live, and we die. It keeps the whole population fresh, relatively young. It makes us easier to move, easier to adapt to new situations. Younger people always have an easier time adapting than us older people. I mean, and I'll be clearly, I'm already at 43 years old, already one of those people who, if I could, would roll onto my lawn and yell at the kids to stay off my lawn. So God forbid, what would I be like at 60 or 70 or 80? I can't imagine. But, a 20-year-old, they are still pretty pliable as the world goes. And if they had to adapt to new temperatures or new drought conditions or new whatever, they will do it. And they're not going to be complaining. They'll complain, but they're not going to be yelling at a cloud holding up a cane like I will. Captain Trax says, Bird of Prey, you need to have Bird O Kohler shirt in your store. I'm sure Jitsi could make you something. Birdo Cola, the birdiest cola in the galaxy. Carlo Albanese says, hi, I hope everyone is as well as can be. And hail, Caroga, Carlo. Carlos is in Caroga, cola drink you. Bradley Briggs says, I think death is just the start of a new adventure. Some of us have had many adventures and others are just starting their first adventure. That is very possible, Bradley. Very possible. I know the mother of one of my friends, she lost her husband in a tragedy. And she believed that the souls of friends and family stay with each other over the eons. And in her world, she said that she could remember the same souls all the way back to when we were hunter-gatherers. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm in no position to say that's crazy, because obviously there's plenty of people out there that will say what I think is true is crazy. So I don't know. I can't say she's crazy. I can't say she's wrong. I don't have any evidence. I've never been privy to any firsthand accounts from anyone else besides her of that. But it's possible. It's possible we stick with the same souls from life to life. Mamo Pray believes that. We had one of my cousins, Dibs, who comes here from time to time. He doesn't remember it anymore, but when he was a young kid, when he was first speaking, he used to talk about his life in heaven before he was born. And he would talk about how he had a blue cat. He would talk about it matter-of-factly, innocence that only a child has before they learn to not talk about such things. And they forget. Some kids, I think, remember it longer than others. The Random Menace is in about 60 or 70 years. I want to wake up dead. That is my preferred way to go. Option 2, going while coming. Option 3, refer to yesterday's first episode of Twilight Zone. That's where you get a new young body. Greetings all, says John DeMarco. Greetings, John. And John DeMarco put out a video of the vast majority of Dr. McCoy saying, he's dead, Jim. He's dead, Jim. That was not the inspiration for today's stream, but it was, I did find it a little funny. I had already set the stream topic at that time. Carlos has just seen 2 rockets go to space in the last hour. Pretty cool. My childhood dream seems to be coming true. Space is our next frontier for work. Soon. Would you work on the moon if you had to fly up there for a month and then they fly you back down and you go up every other month? Would you do that, Carlo? Captain Drax says hello to John. Says hello back. Carlo puts in Mamo Pray emoji and a hug and a Birdo Pray 5 emoji and a hug. Thank you, Carlo. LDG says howdy, Bird. Howdy, LDG. Carlo says, and they all live on within our hearts. The lovely Sherry says hello, Birdo Pray 5 and Mamo Pray. Thank you, lovely Sherry. Hello to you. Tim Christ says, oh, whoa. BK Dan says, Qapla, BK. Dan. Ungarima says, do you think you can see Elvis in the afterlife? I think Elvis just went home. I don't think he's dead yet. Carlo Albanese says, you might see him, but he might not see you. Miranda Menace says, what a cheerful topic for a Monday. I knew, I told you guys it's a Monday topic. Brian McFarland says, hi-de-ho, everybody. Hi-de-ho, Brian. BK Dan says, so long, and thanks for all the fish. Uncle Remus says, hail to Captain Trek. Carlos says, I will meet you all in the great Karoga beyond. Great Karoga beyond. That's not a bad name. Uncle Remus says, Birdo Prey 5, in the afterlife, do you think you can meet dead celebrities? And do you think they still charge $100 per signature? I don't think there's money in the afterlife. I think it's something more like the Federation. That doesn't mean they use Latinum. I just watched the first episode of a TV show called Upload on Amazon Prime Video. That is a scary TV show. Let me tell you what. And that deals with the afterlife. Now, if truth be told, this topic was probably set before I watched Upload. But yeah, that is a scary version of the afterlife. Captain Track says, Carlo, no one wants to spend an eternity in Karoga. Excuse me, Cap. I would spend, if I had to. Karoga would be a prime place. Bradley Briggs says, everything in the universe dies, but nothing in the universe ends. It just becomes something else. Parts of us used to be in the heart of stars. Yes, but is the afterlife even in this universe? I'm not sure. Carlo says, hail, Karoga. Thank you, Carlo. Josh reads his Bird of Prey at 60 or 80. I can only picture Bird as John Herbert from Family Guy. I don't know who John Herbert is. I hope he's not the old guy who chases Chris around. That would upset me, because that's certainly not me. Carlos says, we could carry the memories of our ancestors. That's what they believed. Is there a collective consciousness? That's another possibility. Captain Trike says, Carlo, I know a kid who remembers her life about her son. He was doing this at 3. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Bradley says, I have memories and experiences I know I never experienced in this life. That's interesting, Bradley. I'd be interested in hearing about them one day. Carlos says, we are the same person. No, if we're all the same person, that means we're pickles. That's his thought. We're all the same person, live one life, and then we live it in another life until you have lived every life that has ever existed. I don't know about that, Carlo. John DeMarco says, thanks, Bird. Here, he's dead, Jim. There's the link to the video. Pop Culture Curator says, Bird of Prey, Qapla, hope you are well. I hope you are well, Pop Culture Curator. Carlos says, science isn't complete. There's a lot it can't explain. Science doesn't disprove God, but it might explain the methods used. And Pop Culture Curator says, hello to Mamo Prey, and hail to everyone in the chat. Carlos says, I think I'd have to lose half my body weight to go to the moon for work, but yes, I would. I'd mine the moon for a month at a time. Well, that's very cool. I don't think I would, but good for you. LDG says, are we just all the same person? Lol, yep. Nice timing. Yes, thank you. You had to pull LDG into it. Okay. Quick commercial. I'll be back. couple of
There
commercials.
really is a Kentucky Fried Chicken school.
Yep, today we're making the Colonel's original recipe.
What have you learned?
Fresh chicken makes the best chicken.
And that we use 11 herbs and spices.
Oh, but that's the Colonel's secret. And special pressure cooking.
So it's always tender and juicy.
Looks like you've learned to make great chicken.
Only way to serve our customers right.
It's so nice to live, so good about a meal, so good about Kentucky Fried Chicken.
One of the nice things about McDonald's Chicken McNuggets, those hot, tasty pieces of boneless chicken, is that they're packaged in sizes for every appetite. Let me illustrate. Enter the six-pack. A logical lunch. McNuggets 9, a delight for dinner. And a pack of 20? Hey, perfect for picnics and parties. Of course, these are mere suggestions. Your appetite will be the true guide.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
Jeans and tops from Sears are spring wardrobe essentials on sale this week. First, jeans that fit just $10.99. They fit your shape as well as your size. And you save $5. Add the all-cotton top, now just $6.99. Cool comfort and perma-press too, and you save $3. Jeans in western and cinch waist, tops in stripes and solids. These wardrobe essentials are on sale through Saturday at Sears, where America shops for value.
The Computer Factory wants you to get the competitive edge with the Apple rebate sale. Purchase a qualifying Apple system now and get cash back. Buy the Apple IIgs for only $549 after Apple rebate, or the Apple IIc for only $549 after rebate, or the powerful Macintosh Plus for only $1,449 after Apple rebate. Hurry in to your nearest Computer Factory store for their lowest prices of the year on Apple. Plenty of stock on hand at all Computer Factory locations.
Has Wayne Newton split with his wife and hit the jackpot with his new romance? Inquiring minds want to know.
I want to know.
Can you lose weight by switching from celery to sweets? This week's National Enquirer tells you. How can you put office troublemakers in their place? What curse of death and disaster haunts the Super Bowl?
It's in the Enquirer.
What bizarre surprises popped up on Caroline's wacky honeymoon? Find out in the Enquirer. Over 100 features for people with inquiring minds.
Like me.
One Day at a Time has moved. The craziest cast of characters in some of their zaniest adventures ever now come to you in the morning at a brand new time. Anything goes, and it usually does. So be sure to watch us, because it all happens one day at a time. Now at 10 Eastern, 9 Central and Pacific.
Sorry about that. We are back. Jedi Bill says BK Dan, he loves that movie. LDG is here with the nice timing. Carlos says, what if we're all just one person's dream? And that dream is Brother Benny. Jedi Bill says, and the song, BK Dan, so long and thanks for all the fish. And 42 is the answer to the ultimate question. Carlos says, what if we're all just a kid's computer game and we're just waiting till their parents' turn is... Captain Track says, Carl Albanese, I'm sorry. Only someone with little common sense would believe we are all the same person. That is complete ignorance. Well, Captain, I don't know it's complete ignorance. I don't subscribe to that theory, but I have no way to disprove it. And frankly, I don't think you do either. No. I have to leave it in the bag of possibilities, no matter how improbable I think it is. Words and pictures, as if you believe the adverts, Karoga looks a wonderful place. Words and pictures, I have photographs that prove Karoga is a wonderful place. Captain Track says the person needs to be shot if it's a dream. Well, that might well be the case. That might well be the case. captain. Let's get a news update. What's going on out there in the real world? Ukraine seeks immediate ceasefire and Russian withdrawal in first direct talks. Right. Yeah. They're just going to ask them to leave. That'll work. You know how you guys have been taking over this country? Well, if you could stop doing that, then we can talk. Yeah. California lifts school COVID mask mandate after March 11th. Russian economy shudders after U.S. and Europe impose sanctions. U.S. effectively freezes Russian central bank assets held by Americans. Well, that doesn't sound good. IPCC issues bleakest warning yet on impact of climate breakdown. Nobody gives a shit. Delay means death. We're running out of ways to adapt to the climate crisis. No, there's plenty of ways. U.S. levies sanctions against Russia's central bank. Okay. Preview Star Trek Picard Season 2 premiere with new photos plus clips from the Stargazer. Updated. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. What the fuck? Yellowstone producer confirms 1883 will not have a second season. I just watched the last episode of 1883 last night with Mama Pray. I Googled and they said 1883 would have a second season. It didn't make sense, but it said there would be. Now, because it was a CBS investor call, now I bet they won't. Now, there is supposed to be another prequel series to Yellowstone called 1923 coming, which would be 40 years. 1932, right? 1932. We'll get back to that. Let's see what's going on with Star Trek Picard. Wesley says, I prefer Kurogan News Network over CNN. So do I, Wes. Preview Star Trek Picard Season 2 premiere with new photos plus clips from the Stargazer. After almost 2 years, Star Trek Picard returns for Season 2. We have new photos and a trailer to get you started. The Stargazer. Picard Season 2 kicks off with an episode titled The Stargazer, which evokes the name of Jean-Luc Picard's first command, the USS Stargazer. The season will kick off with the much-anticipated return of John Delancey's Q. Picard is back on Paramount Plus on Thursday, March 3rd, along with Discovery Episode 411. Season 4, Episode 11 of Discovery, and Season 2, Episode 1 of Star Trek Picard, both hit Thursday. I just wonder if there's an order into which to watch them. Are both going to become available at the exact same instant? No. It's going to be a big Thursday. Blue Harvest Toys has subscribed. Qapla Blue Harvest Toys. If you're here in the chat, welcome. Synopsis. Starfleet must once again call on legendary Jean-Luc Picard after members of his former crew, Rio, 7 of 9, Rafi, Dr. Agnes Girardi, discover an anomaly in space that threatens the galaxy. Wow, does that not sound like every season of Star Trek Discovery? And for that matter, Star Trek Picard? Jean-Luc and Laris at Chateau Picard. What happened to Laris's husband? Sir Patrick Stewart as Jean-Luc Picard. and Orla Brady as Laris. Sir Patrick Stewart. Oh, right. Ice at Starfleet Academy. Is that where he had to say his name? And Dorian, Orion, terrible Orion. What? When did he join? Elnor joined Starfleet? I guess this must be the fucked up timeline. Is that a book? He's giving him a paper book. I know there was paper books on Rios's ship, but still. And that Picard's library had paper books. A visit from Admiral Whiteley. Whitley? Whiteley? Whiteley. Admiral Whiteley is not white. It's okay. Don't have to be. But Patrick Stewart as Jean-Luc Picard and April Grace as Admiral. Well, maybe it's Whitley. Whitley. Well, at least she's not telling him sheer effing hubris. At least I don't think she is. Maybe she is. Funny how many admirals make house calls. Previously released episodes. And there's Q. A video preview gives you an update on all characters as they start season 2. The last episode of Ready Room with Will Wheaton includes a clip starting at 2400. And Fabulous Disaster is also to subscribe. Qapla Fabulous Disaster, if you're in the chat. Yes, Rufy is back. Let's see. 24. He's going to be honest with us. He's seen a lot of the season so far. He can't wait for us to see this exclusive clip from the first episode. Move it, move it, move it, she's yelling. This has got to be a flashback to the Stargazer. They've got the old style, but 25% different uniforms. Intruder alert. There was no intruder on the Stargazer. There's a you can see the 4 nacelles behind this person's head. That's the Stargazer. Okay. Yeah, and you got it on all around the turbo lift. So this is the Stargazer. Look at this uniform though. Why don't they just fucking use the TNG uniform? Why do they have to have 25% different uniform? I know why. Okay, thanks, Will Wheaton. Sassy girl. Yeah, I had to lay back a little. Oh, there we go. That's why I'm not on camera constant. Was in too much pain. Anyway. Interesting. I guess we'll know more in a couple of days. Yeah, Yellowstone producer confirms. Well, since everybody pretty much died, I suppose we all saw this coming. Yes, the 1883 season finale was absolutely bonkers. I don't know if I'd call it bonkers. Elsa Dutton died. Shay Brennan, Sam Elliott died. The two cowboys died. The cowboys died. I didn't see them die. Oh, she said that they died. The rest of the wagon, well, after she was dead, she said it. So I guess, hey, look, another life after death. The rest of the wagon train died after separating from the others. It'd just be easier to tell you who lived. Needless to say, the show was a rousing success, a fantastic prequel to the Paramount smash hit series Yellowstone. And now it's over, fans are wondering, when is season 2? Well, we hate to break it to you, but there won't be one. According to executive producer David Glasser, who recently spoke to Hollywood Reporter, 1883 is a one-and-done series, and Taylor Sheridan is going to use the upcoming 1932 series to tell the next chapter of the Dutton prequel. However, there will be some extra bonus episodes of 1883 coming. You see, I don't want to give away too much, but 1932 was always intended to be the second season. Now the network is excited to bring you something real additional to 1883. There was one way set with it. There was one version, and now there's going to be two versions. Everything is well thought out with Taylor, so when you see what's coming, it's all pretty exciting. I think 1883 was an incredible journey. We're excited the way fans embraced it. I wasn't that big of a fan, and it just was better than nothing. We're excited the way the films embraced it. The fans embraced it. I'm excited for people to see all the other great stuff that we're doing around it now. Okay, so let me tell you about 1883. This young girl who has no business being great at all these things is great at all these things. Of course, she's better than her father. She's better than the Indians. She's better than her mother. All of a sudden, she falls in love, gets engaged, has sex once, now thinks of herself as a woman. Her boyfriend / fiance is killed. She immediately falls in love with another guy who happens to be a Native American. She gets engaged to him. She gets married to him. She decides to leave him behind and agree with her parents to at least go with them to Oregon, and then she can leave and come back to him. So he lets her go. He doesn't travel with her. They head out, and now she feels like the whole time she's making journal entries or whatever. It's basically like a captain's log. So in the course of like a month, she feels like she's become an expert at everything, even though she was already an expert at everything. And at the end of the show, she gets shot with a dirty arrow, so she's going to die. But of course, she manages to live longer than anyone with that type of wound would have survived. And the place where she dies, she wants to pick the place where she'll die. And of course, her dad says, sure. And the mother says she can't go on without the daughter. So wherever the daughter dies, that's where she's going to be buried. And that's where the Duttons are going to start their ranch. It doesn't have to be in Oregon, apparently. They'll just start it wherever she dies. She dies in the place where we know the Duttons have their ranch in the modern Yellowstone series. And of course, they meet the local Native Americans who are still there in the modern day series. And the Native American says there's some land down by a valley that you can have. But in 7 generations, and he knows right away, he said, in 7 generations, my people are going to rise up and take the land back from you. And of course, Dutton says, well, in 7 generations, they can have it. And then I guess he never passes that info down the family line. Then the Indian guy says, well, my people might want to hunt that land someday. So if they come over, you'll let them hunt. And he says, yeah, they can hunt it tomorrow and every day. And so they had a happy understanding with the Native Americans, and that's how it ended. That's the entire series. The daughter, and then the daughter dies, and she keeps talking. So we hear about stuff after death, and so she's waiting in the afterlife for the guy she married, who's the Native American guy. She doesn't give a fuck about her fiance that she was madly in love with the week before, who died and is there now. Like, why doesn't she look him up? Why doesn't she go be with him? She was engaged to this guy. That guy died, arguably protecting her. And now she doesn't give up. She doesn't even mention him anymore. She forgot all about him. Like, it's one thing, okay, she needs a rebound guy, and then she's going to marry her rebound. That's a bit weird. She forgot that this other guy even existed. All of us were supposed to forget this other dude even existed. She was engaged to this man. They were very much in love. She made all the promises that she made to the Native American, she made to this guy first. Now that she's dead and this other guy should be around somewhere in the afterlife, nope, fuck him. Don't care. The only person she wants to see is her Native American husband, who seems like a very nice guy, don't get me wrong. But fuck. Yeah. You didn't learn. There was no journey. I'm not convinced. And we're supposed to feel that Beth Dutton gets her strength from this little girl. I'm sorry. I don't see it. All we had was the story of a little girl who fell in love. Her first boyfriend died. Then she fell in love a second time right away. And then she died. And then she didn't care about the first guy anymore. And when asked if any of the A-list cast is going to make it to shoot the bonus episodes, Glaser was pretty coy. I can't give too much away, but we're excited for the year ahead. Well, that means no. With any luck, they already shot these episodes. They just didn't release them. So that's it. You can officially put a bow on 1883, as it will not be renewed for a second season. And if I were to take some guesses about the bonus episodes, my guess is they might be relatively separate from the original story of 1883. Perhaps a side story about Thomas or Shay, maybe a few episodes that fill in some missing backstory, or a few episodes in the future to bridge the gap between 1883 and 1932. I suppose I wouldn't be shocked if some of the main cast didn't reappear, but then again, Taylor Sheridan does a pretty good job of keeping us guessing. Even when you think you could have figured it out, you find some way to surprise you. Like we all saw Elsa take an arrow in the very first episode, but it was hard to believe that she would actually die. We also saw Shay think about killing himself all the damn time, but it was still shocking to watch him finally do it. Well, he told us exactly what he was going to do. Either way, Taylor Sheridan Yellowstone universe is growing faster than he can write it, and that's a good problem to have. 1932 will follow the next generation Dutton into the difficulties of Prohibition and the Great Depression as we continue our prequel series, March toward the modern-day Dutton Ranch. What problems would they have? Why would Prohibition be an issue? The 4 Sixes Ranch was founded by Samuel Burnett in 1870 when he bought 100 head of cattle and branded with 666 on them, 4 Sixes. These days, the ranch is a staggering 266,000 acres on 3 different properties. As previously mentioned, it was purchased by a group spearheaded by Yellowstone creator. Yeah, there's no premiere date set for 4 Sixes. We know it will likely stream exclusively on Paramount Plus. It could even be released at some point this year, towards the end of the year. The show is rumored to star Jefferson White as Ryan Bingham, who will reprise his role as Jimmy and Walker. Okay, whatever. I know you guys aren't big fans of 1883. Space Force 2's shocking ending explained. Shit, we haven't gotten to the ending. I'm going to skip that. Preview Star Trek Discovery 4411 with new photos. Plus, what is it? Trailer from Rosetta. With just 3 episodes left, the 4th season of Discovery is heading to its conclusion, with episode 11 arriving this week. We have details, new photos, and a trailer. Rosetta, the new Discovery episode titled Rosetta, debuts on Paramount Plus. I'm guessing it's the Rosetta Stone. They're going to have to make their own Rosetta Stone. Synopsis: while Captain Burnham leads an away mission to a planet that was once home to the aliens responsible for the DMA, Book and Tarka secretly infiltrate the USS Discovery. And they've got fancy black suits. Trailer. A trailer is available on StarTrek.com. This video is unavailable because we are unable to load a message from one of our sponsors. If you're using ad blocking software, please disable it and try reloading the page. Fuck you. Okay, fine. Seriously? I disabled it. What other privacy protection? Turn off. God damn it. Click to unmute. Okay, let's try that. Okay. This must have been the Tensi's home at some point. If she finds something, she would promise. In other words, don't screw it up. He's my favorite guy. That Asian guy. He doesn't read any life signs, including their own. Maybe they all died. They need to figure out who they are and how to talk to them. Oh, and they're taking phasers, even though they were all concerned about being so peaceful. They were so concerned about not making any act that might be considered aggressive. And what do they go down? They go down with phasers. Why? There's no life forms. Why would you need a phaser? They want to go aboard Discovery. He says, one wrong point, it's over for both of us, his book. Saru is starting to feel things he hasn't felt for quite some time. Michael seemed to absorb some energy or something. It reminds me of Stargate, where Jack gets the ancient repository of knowledge transferred into his brain. What? Saru says, she asks Saru what he's feeling. What the hell is this? The coming of death. He feels the coming of death. I thought that goes away once he loses his ganglia. How is he feeling that again? It feels like another continuity mistake in their own damn show. That was something Kelpians felt when they had the ganglia. Then they go through space puberty. The ganglia falls out and becomes poison darts that they can shoot at things. And they lose the ability to sense death. Okay, well, par for the course, I guess. Par for the course. Wesley says, watch Yellowstone. It's a pretty decent. Yellowstone is a pretty decent show. 1883 is a much less decent prequel to Yellowstone. Wesley says, so this young girl is like Burnham. Basically, yes. Although she is younger and white, but very much the bestest at everything. Better cowboy than the cowboys, better horse rider than the Native Americans, better at sewing than her mother, just better at everything. Wesley says, this is why I don't watch modern shows. Dan Ben says, I watch the modern shows. The rest of the modern shows move to platforms that are not accessible. Basco Scenario Qapla says, hello, Birdo Bray 5. Hello, Basco. It's not been canned. It was only meant to be a one-season show. I mean, if you saw the final episode, you know they wrapped everything up pretty nice. There's really nothing left to do. Carlos says, Basco, hi, hope you're as okay as can be. Wesley says, why is Bird talking about this show? I guess you just have to have watched it. Wes, I'm not saying to watch it. Dan is also not interested. Random S is listening to that plot. Discovery sounds like a good show. Bradley says that is probably what it isn't getting a second season. What's Paramount Plus, says Carlo. What is Burnham, says Wes. Wesley says FCBS and ads. Who's burning hams is not Ryan Johnson. Communications are down, Captain, says Carlo. Wesley is hungry for a ham and Tilly sandwich. Dan Ben says sometimes Star Trek only wants Americans to see it and then give it to the rest of the world later to watch. Wesley says, has the Discovery crew died yet? Oh, has the Discovery crew died? Yay. Dan says, I guess once Prodigy is on Paramount, they will release it in other countries. Wesley says he can feel death. Does he have a cold? Bradley says he deals the end of the show. He feels the end of the show coming very soon. Carlos says once a cow, always a cow. And Josh says Bird of Prey 5 looks like when they go through the old age, they grow it back. It very well might be. It very well might be. Anyway, guys, let's go to Bed Life because I realize we're gonna have to wrap up probably sooner than later. I'm sorry, not Bed Life. Dear Bop. Dear Bop. Dear Bop, fearless leader, I have a question on the Kurogan medical policy and the rule involving sex change operations. According to Section 6, Subsection 9 of the Kurogan Employee Manual, Kurogan workers are entitled to full reimbursement for any medical procedures for males becoming females. But I was wondering about the reimbursement payment if the process goes the other way. I would like to change from a woman into a male this year, as I think it might make me stronger and more productive in handling Kurogan projects. So will I be reimbursed for changing from a female to a male? I will be sure to show you the results when the area has healed. Thank you, Gary. No, that's not from Gary. Well, I don't know who sent this, but whoever has, no, we do not reimburse from going to female to male. That's just crazy. Going from male to female is much easier. Snip, snip, cut, cut. Going the other way around, much more difficult. So no, it's not covered. And just to be clear, it's not well covered the other direction either. It's just that we find somebody willing to make the cut. You remember Lorena Bobbitt? Well, I got her sister. Dear Bop, is today Monday? I'm not sure what day it is. Can you call me on the big red phone? I've been waiting for Putin to call me back all week. I think he's avoiding my calls. Maybe he will talk to you. Thank Bob. Joe Biden. Yeah, Joe, we'll get the big red phone powered up. In the meantime, play with your speak and tell, whatever the hell. The cow says, moo. Dear Bop, hey Joe, my name is Frost. You may have heard of me, but I am looking for a new opportunity, a chance to start a new production, much like G4. And I was wondering if you might be interested in being a co-host. We could network you from your house, and you could be a regular part of the team. The only rule is that you can't play with your thingy while you are looking at me. Are you in, Frost? Well, don't worry, Frost. I would not be playing with my thingy while looking at you. But I'm busy, I'm kind of really busy. I got lots of projects going on. So I'm sorry you have to pass, hard pass. But good luck, and I'm sure you'll find somebody willing to. Actually, I'm not sure, but you should keep trying. John Streets is Bird of Prey. Looks like, yes, they grow back. Carl Albanese says, Bed Life. It's a stream by Bird of Prey 5. Carlos says it's easier to make a mountain into a hole than a hole into a mountain. Dan Ben says you're not cutting mine off. I'm not. Just don't ask for the Bobbit special. Dear Bop, LDG here. Hey, I think I might have dropped a black bag of garbage. It's not, by the way, off my truck near your house the other day. No big deal, but I did have a few pounds of dirt weed, seedy and twiggy marijuana, in it that I was bringing home to clean and then use for rolling doobies. Please let me know if you might have seen this bag. I can swing by and retrieve it. I will give you a couple of joints to reward you. If you can help me out, thank you. LDG. Sorry, LDG, I don't know what you're talking about. No bag of weed rolled past my house on my security camera the other night. I don't know what you're talking about. Dear Bop, the Xbox Series S is $50 off on Whoop today, if anyone is looking for one. But that is an old Xbox S, right? That's not the new. That's not the... Is that the current generation? No. Access your favorite entertainment apps like YouTube, Netflix. Enjoy over 100 games right out of the box with a 1-month Xbox Game Pass trial. Stream 4K video on Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, Microsoft. Play with friends and family near and far. Specs. Xbox Series S console. Xbox wireless controller. High-speed HDMI cable. AC power. I don't even know. This is a fucking problem. This is the problem. Professor Brainy Specs says, after listening to you at 2x speed for 45 minutes, you sound weird at 1x. I know. Well, weirder than normal. Thank you. Thanks for telling us about the deal, but I don't know. I never know which is the correct Xbox that I want. I think I saved it. Did I save? Yeah, here it is. Here's the link. Let's see. Xbox 360. 360E. Xbox, the 1S. So, maybe that is the right one. No. Xbox One X. Xbox Series X. It is the Xbox. The Series S. The Series S. The X only comes in black. The X ships in white. Okay. So that is cool. That's not a bad... That's actually not a bad plan. $249 for a brand new Xbox S. The only problem here is this 512 gigabyte. I wonder if that's upgradable. You got Ethernet port, USB, HDMI. I don't know what that is. Power. Huh. I tell you, get that and Xbox Game Pass for $5 a month, but then you probably got to pay like $40 a month for Xbox Online to do anything. Yeah, I forgot about that. That makes it, having to pay to go online kind of kills it for me. Otherwise, if I didn't have to pay monthly to do things online, I'd buy one just to have. That's the version with no disk drive, says Bradley. Well, it's no there's no optical drive. The X has the optical drive. The X has a 4K Blu-ray. If it was the X for that much money, I would buy it, no questions asked. Pay it off. Dear Bop, this is Wesley. My package is in the mail. I mean, your package is in. Wait, I should say the package is in. Yeah, that's better. When you get a huge wooden box with holes in it, don't be surprised. Please open as soon as possible. Thanks, Bop. Wes out. Wes, you didn't mail yourself, did you? God damn it, Wes. Dear Bob, I've seen Defending Your Life enough times to know that 1, Rip Thorn is a heavenly body. 2, I use 54% of my brain. And 3, hail on Karoga. Dear Bob, would you like a video game controller which matches your dog face pony soldier face? I don't know what that means. I do know that Salty put up a video today where he cashes, he writes checks that his face can't cash. Dear Bob, is it just coincidence that all the communists, Democrats, are lifting mask mandates right before the State of the Union and spring primary elections? You know, it must be coincidence. I guess the science told us now is the time. Now is the time to lift it. Josh reads Bird of Prey. They are external SSDs that you can buy. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Dear Bob, the Xbox Series S is the current generation Xbox. It's the all-digital only version. The previous was the Xbox One S. There's also Xbox Series X, which has better specs and a disk drive. Thank you. Dear Bob, yes, you can get SSD for the Xbox Series X to expand the storage. And Dear Bob, Game Pass is $44.99 for 3 months and includes Xbox Live. Oh, okay. So what's that? $15 a month. Well, I gotta say, $15 a month, basically a whole bunch of games and all your online fees. That's not a bad deal. However, I wouldn't get to use it because as is, I don't get a chance to play games enough on my actually you know what? I might go ahead and bite the bullet. It's close. I have to think about it. I know I don't have a lot of time. It's only until it's sold out. Fuck. Dan Ben says, and that was it for Dear Bop for today. Dan Ben never used Netflix. I recently had to remove apps and reinstall them from my mobile phone because of full memory storage. Eldrick Lord Hasser says they have third-party companies that make custom skins. If you don't like the color, I don't care about the color, Eldrick Lord. It's going to be in a shelf. It's not a big deal. Josh reads Bird of Prey. There are external SSDs you can buy. Dan Benson's Blu-ray is way more expensive to buy than DVDs. Yeah, here in England. And Dan Ben, DVD and Blu-ray players can be cheaper than some DVD and Blu-rays. The player can be cheaper than the disc. That's weird, but I believe you. Bradley Briggs says if they made access to Xbox Live free, they would sell more consoles, but there's more money in charging. Oh, yeah, I get it. And to be honest, I'm happy that they're charging, because back in the Xbox 360 days, when it was free, their network access sucked. When Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 came out, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare came out to the Xbox, it overloaded their servers for weeks. For weeks, you couldn't get on because they didn't have any real incentive. Meanwhile, PlayStation, which charged for their online service, they had plenty of bandwidth. So Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, I ended up buying for the Xbox, rebuying for the PlayStation because it was just better to use on the PlayStation. Later, I ended up buying it for the PC. And then later again, I ended up buying the remastered. So Call of Duty 4. Oh, and I ended up buying a second copy for a second Xbox that later, after they fixed their issues, I brought into work. So Modern Warfare, I actually bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I bought the same game 5 times. A record by far. Words and Pictures. I hope physical therapy goes well for you. Thank you, Words and Pictures. And yes, I do have to get going because I have to get ready for physical therapy. So thank you all for everybody who came tonight. I hope I didn't put people in a bad mood. I really wanted to actually hope people had an uplifting message I wanted to send. I didn't want to depress anybody. I intended to be uplifting. I hope it was. And I hope those of you who have strong feelings about that can agree to disagree. Rock Solid Production says hashtag first. Welcome, Rock Solid. Thank you. Rock Solid, Bird of Prey, after this stream, set up StreamYards and I'll answer any questions you might have. Thank you, Rock Solid, but I actually have to get going very quickly to get ready for physical therapy. I don't think I really have any questions at this point. Wesley, Bird of Prey, hope you have a great day. See you around. Thank you, Wes. Qapla all. Bird out. But wait, there's more. The video might be over, but there's more fun to be had. First, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have clicked that bell icon to get notifications of new videos in your YouTube feed. Share this video on social media to help this channel fight the algorithm that favors big media. Also check out www.birdoprey5.com for links to my other channels, various social media accounts, merch store, Dear Bop, affiliate links, and all your Bird of Prey 5 needs. At the main Bird of Prey 5 YouTube channel, you can find all sorts of live streams and unlisted videos, YouTube membership options, and a community section with polls and updates on the channel. On the secondary channel, Bird of Prey 5X, you can find overflow content that doesn't always make the main channel. Subscribe to both channels, please. Thanks for watching. Remember, I stream almost every day. This is Bird of Prey 5 saying goodbye, world. Until next time. P.S. Hail Sassy, Hail Charlie, and of course, Hail Karoga.